Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to introduce myself. I'm Latanya Sadler. I'm the new Associate Communications Director, and will be working with football and all of you in the future. So look forward to meeting everyone and working with each of you. Turn it over to Coach Stoutland now.
Thank you.
Jeff, if you could talk a little bit about, playing Notre Dame. Is that a kick? Your one game here as head coach going against Notre Dame.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could ask for. Again, forget about me. It's just for the players, to have a chance to play. Miami Notre Dame matchup is pretty neat. A lot of history there between the two schools.
What do you know about? I guess you were elsewhere, obviously, in the '90s when they were playing. But what do you remember from that series?
Well, they were on our schedule every single year, so we played them every single year. And I remember. Here's what I remember. I remember the players. You didn't have to say much to the players because they were always pumped up, ready to go for that week. It was almost a game that you had on your schedule you kind of pointed to every year.
Everybody probably in this room, do the players, Notre Dame still have that same mystique for the players? Because quite frankly, Notre Dame has one ACS team in how many years? Quite a lot. But they still have that age group.
Absolutely, I believe so.
What have they?
That's a question you guys can ask our players because you're going to have that opportunity when the time comes. But, I believe so.
Will this game help them, get up and forget about everything else that's been going on? It's such a big name, Notre Dame.
It's the only game we have left. This is it for the seniors. It really doesn't matter. It's the last game of the year. It's the last game for the seniors. And you're playing a really good opponent with great history behind it.
Hey Jeff, did you get together with the players, at some point yesterday to talk about the bowl game or anything like that? Or how do you let them know? I guess how do you let them know, or how did you communicate with them after the bowl announcement?
They know. They all knew. But we had a little workout this morning, a team workout this morning, and we'll have a meeting this afternoon. Did not ask that question. I just watched. I was curious to see the demeanor of the guys once we hit the field again, and it appeared to me like, it was a breath of fresh air to get back outside, move around. It was a little chilly it was nice. It was nice. I guess it was 37 degrees in El Paso, so we were 47 here. So we're getting closer, but it was a good workout. A lot of enthusiasm, and really, that's what I was monitoring, was to see how guys were moving around, and it was good. Yeah, it was. They had some individual work. The skill positions did a 7-on-7 session, and the offense and defensive lines primarily had all individual, which was great to be able to teach. Go back to the fundamentals of football. By preparing them. And when I say preparing them, I mean physically, mentally, psychologically. We have, quite a few days prior to the game and leading up to the game. I think you have to take it in phases, which we're in finals right now. We'll go. That's why we're just, we're just doing some things in the morning right now so that we can cut them loose the rest of the day and let them focus on academics. Starting and over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we'll practice. Put the pads on and get after it a little bit, and those will be more practice. Those practices will be more very similar practices to spring football.
I was just going to ask if they're with practice, or I know you said there's no limit on how many days. Are there any NCAA stipulations as far as, how in the fall you have to be in shorts and stuff in the beginning and?
No, we've already fulfilled that during the season, so there's no limit on the number of days that you can use. Right. For instance, the teams that are playing for the national championship, I think they have 35 opportunities to practice prior to that game, and they're so There are regulations on the amount of time that you put in each day.
Okay.
That's the only stipulation, which we won't even come close to that.
Each day and then.
Yeah, 4 hours a day. Yeah, we won't. Yeah, I don't believe in just sitting outside all day. And I like the way our guys move around from period to period, and it's not a lot of lag time. We get right into what we're doing and move quickly to each phase of the practice, and then get them off the field.
You guys practice pretty much every day. You're gonna practice pretty much every day leading up to the bowl, you think?
Pretty much. And if it's not a full practice, it'll be some type of a special teams practice or a walkthrough or some type of organized meeting, yes.
Have you thought, and this is for us, I guess, not so much for anyone else, but have you thought about the media access yet for practices? Has that been determined? I just did a meeting about that a while back.
Yeah, I think that, you guys, we all have work, you all have a job to do, and I understand that. And I think what's gone on here in the past is in terms of your access to practice and all. I mean, you'll have time before practice, maybe a little more time. You're going to have more time than you had prior to, but at some point there'll be a cutoff where maybe those first few plays at the beginning of practice, but you'll be allowed in earlier than that, and then you're done. But in terms of being able to have access to speak to players, we've talked about that, and I don't think there's any problem with anybody on our team being able to speak to anybody. So,
How about assistant coaches?
you know what? We didn't address that, but I'll talk to the staff about that as well. But I don't think that's a problem.
You guys go in the afternoons, most practices?
No, we're going to have the same schedule as I think it's important to keep the. That's just me. I mean, the kids, once you start doing it after a little bit, you get in a routine. I don't think anybody's going to forget the time schedule. They're not going to. I know going to these bowl games in the past for me, Monday's a Thursday and Sunday's a Tuesday, and you get confused, And so, what I'd like to try to do is keep every day the same. I think we're going to go 9 o'clock. We'll have meetings, and then 10:15 on the field.
So Saturday you're going to practice at 10:15, Jeff, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Sunday as well.
Yes, sir.
We did go out to,
We will leave on the 26th.
and then how many workouts do we have? I mean, all the serious stuff will be done by then, I assume.
No, hey, I'm going to give you the whole shebang here. I'm going to give you the whole deal, how it's going to work, okay? I would like to have a spring ball session where all the players have a chance to compete against each other, okay? Everybody's getting plenty of repetitions no matter what, whether you're first string, second team, third string. You're all going to have an opportunity to get repetitions in play, okay? And then at some point during those practices early on, like next week, this Saturday, Sunday, a couple days next week, I'd like there to be a period in there where it's just Notre Dame, a team period, where we're just focusing on the game plan against Notre Dame. One session, okay? And then what I'd like to do is back up and say, okay, the next week I'd like to do an actual week schedule. I like, as coaches, we'd like to do a week schedule of a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice here. Or maybe a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday combination practice here on Notre Dame before we leave. So we get one whole week completed on the game plan. Then once we leave on the 26th, we have a function we have to be at right away, 6 o'clock, barbecue. The next day we'll wake up, we'll practice on the Monday. We'll practice, I don't even know what, that's the 27th, Monday. We'll practice, and that Monday will be a Tuesday. Then we'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday walkthrough, and then you play the game on Friday. So it's perfect. Once we get out there, it's perfectly planned like a regular game week. You don't have to adjust anything.
Is it kind of a plan that you've had experience like this?
Yes. Yes.
Any particular?
Combination of them all, And what you really do is you pay more attention to the games you had success in, and then the other thing right now is making phone calls to, the Sun Bowl now. They've been doing this a long time. The second oldest bowl game out there. So they're extremely organized. I can just tell from the teleconference call last night, they're extremely organized. They know exactly what they're doing. And it's good to know you're in great hands like that. You know, we can just focus on preparing.
We have time for 2 more questions.
I was just going to ask you, you know, are you guys, do you think, going to look much different? I mean, we saw you play against USF. Is that team going to look different from the team that plays on New Year's Eve? You're going to be able to look at that game and say, wow, they're doing a lot of things different. Or it's going to be primarily the same offense, defense, special teams?
Well, you kind of left that wide open for me to answer. First of all, I think I'm hoping and I'm praying that you're going to see a team full of energy and fired up to play this game. And from a schematical standpoint, I think with us having enough time to work on some things and get reps at it, you don't like to do that when you're in a regular season, change anything or do much. But it will give us time to experience with some new things, maybe have a couple wrinkles here or there. I think that's always important. They're going to have every one of our games. They have them today. Right now they're working on us right now. I mean, they have all of our games just like we have all their games. So, they're going to chart everything we did formation-wise. They're going to know what we're doing from certain formations. This gives you a chance to maybe window dress some things and change it up a little bit, but run the same plays.
Jeff, when they leave, the players leave, are you guys all going together, or do they go home first? I'm trying to figure this out and leave, or they'll be here till the end.
No, we're going to give them a chance to we're going to practice on the 22nd, the morning of the 22nd, and we'll be complete at that point, and we'll let the players go home for the holiday. And then the charter will leave on the 26th in the afternoon because it's 2-hour difference out there. So that'll give them enough time to get back here on Christmas night. Come back late Christmas night, so we can leave on the 26th. And then there's some players we have some players that live in Texas,
Right.
or California. So I'm in the middle of figuring that out right now, trying to make it what's best for them, the players. In terms of how they can, does everybody have to go on a charter? Can some guy, I'm in the middle of that. I can't answer that right now because I don't know the answer. I have a meeting this afternoon.
And you don't know where you're practicing or anything, right? You guys go down there and pick your practice site?
We'll know that here shortly.
We have a advanced party that's going out there this week, Tuesday through Thursday, so we'll have more of those details at the end of the week.
Do we know who's starting quarterback?
No. Ask me that prior to the game, and we'll be able to. No, we don't. We're going to forget about the quarterback. How about the starting right guard? I mean, or the left tackle. I mean, I really did. No, we don't have a starting right guard. We don't have a start. To me, it's open season. That's what's great about this opportunity is you get a chance to go out and compete. And somebody that's really advanced during the course of the year, the window's open. I mean, go and compete. Maybe you'll earn a starting job in these, Because really, as coaches, that's what we owe the players, to be honest and fair to them.
Jeff, how's Chantrell doing? I saw him, and I know he had a boot on his left. That's been reported on his left foot. Is he going to be okay for the game?
No, that was I gave him that for his birthday. That was a present. He's fine. He's fine. He's really fine. I mean, he'll be 100% fine.
Jeff, one thing that you picked, you were talking about assistant coach, you were going to promote somebody.
Coach Tim Harris.
I'm sorry?
Coach Tim Harris. We moved him. We elevated Coach Harris, and he was actually able to go, out recruiting. So what it enables us to get one more coach, manpower.
Is he concentrating on a certain position group, or?
Yeah, him and Coach McGriff will work together in the individual periods of practice with the secondary. But once the practice begins, once the actual practice session starts, he'll be over with us running the scout team defense, running the backfield, which is he'll be able to help those guys.
Is he like co-defensive backs coach? That's what the title has for him?
No, he's an assistant.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.